Take Connor's critique.
I think I know why. It is because you don't want to give Straighterade any clout. Like she is the great betrayer. She objectively is. She is the great betrayer. Why would you give Straighterade, the great betrayer, butcher of orbits, any clout, right? Do you really want to set up more orbits for her to butcher? Do you want her to give more room to get more clout, failing upwards? Obviously not, right? She's a fucking horrible human being,
Yeah, I want to
right?
hear, but this is what I'm
Like you're listen, you're not entitled to Destiny's like fucking audience, all right? When you're doing this, yeah.
curious about, and I want to know if you have anything to speak to.
Do
How do you
not.
think that we, mere mortals, live and learn? How should we conform our conduct? What would you like to see from us that we're not doing right now?
I actually have something that I think you would be quite amenable to. So if you actually think that capitalism and mixed economy capitalism is preferable to socialism as I defined it, the decommodification of basic human needs, workers owning the means of production, if you think that's genuinely better.
How she has skirted stuff. She hasn't skirted it. Everyone was criticizing her. I guess the thing about Straighterade is that she is just she knows how to handle drama, I guess. Like she isn't going on panels to crash out and then like defend herself. I think that she is slimy and sly with the way that she handles this kind of stuff. I think she handled it in private and that's it. Which is, by the way, this is how you should be handling drama, okay? However, just know that like she escapes drama and then she comes back completely shameless. Okay, completely shamelessly comes back, and now she's fixated herself into this orbit again. Dude, this person is not just a casual betrayer. This person is the competitive betrayer, okay? This person is a competitive betrayer, all right? A competitive traitor. That's what this person is, okay? A pathetic, sackless, feckless human being whose title should only be known as the great betrayer, butcher of orbits.
Then when you have MLs or when you have socialists onto your program, I would like to see you challenge them, not just on rhetoric and efficacy and all that kind of bullshit. I would like to see you fight them on the economics.
This is how cooked this is, right? Like in that conversation with the Vanguard, we weren't discussing liberalism versus capitalism. We were discussing the best way. Wait, let me finish my thought. We were discussing the best way to get Biden's agenda. That's what's so silly about this whole thing. We were discussing about what tactically we should have done for Biden's agenda. So for you guys to paint this as it was ideological and you didn't give pushback,
I don't need a 5-minute sermon.
No, it was about tactics to enact Biden's vision.
I don't need or want a 5-minute sermon. So so Pisco, let me tell you about this, okay? This is my problem. This actually, and it's indicative of this entire 2.5-hour conversation. What I'm saying is that there are authoritarian dissident freaks on the far left and on the right. And on the right, the dissident right-wing freaks have infected and destroyed the party that I was a part of. 55% of the party that I identified with growing up is now dead because of these fucking monsters. And so when I look to the left and I see a bunch of normie liberals, capitalists, fucking all this bullshit playing footsie with revolutionary socialists, not only does that turn me off, hold on, I'm not done yet. Thank you.
Okay. For once, Connor's cooking. Okay, this is cooking. Okay, all right. All right. Fuck. Finally, all right. Finally, he's saying something that actually contributes to this discussion. Okay.
Thank you for your condescending look and your open mouth. I don't need it right now. Thank you. So when I see that, I'm going to criticize it because what I don't want to happen is you and other people.
I mean, Connor is a crazy virtue signaler. I'm not gonna deny that. Like, for example, this is also a virtue signal to make himself look like morally superior, because this is what counterpoints do, right? Like, counterpoints likes to make himself look superior in order by concern trolling a little bit and whatever the fuck, right? Actually, maybe he doesn't want to concern troll. Maybe he's actually concerned. I don't know. I don't want to say that just yet. Okay, like he basically wants to look like the wise old man, basically, right? But like the thing is that yeah, he is spitting here. I can't deny that part, right?
Anyway. Like you, spending 3 hours sweeping for
I need to figure out how to get myself onto panel. Seems like a lot of people could be told something different. You can just tag Wick on Twitter, or you can just like talk to Wick or something like that. Like he's very accessible if you want to DM him. Okay. I mean, the reason I can't talk to him is probably because he has me blocked or something.
The fucking far left. And then as a result, they become more powerful and more emboldened. It's indicative in this conversation. It's indicative in the Vanguard conversation. It's indicative in the way that you talk about Hassan Piker. It's indicative in the way that you talk about the far left.
Fuck Hassan.
It doesn't matter when people told you about the things that he's done. You said, I don't know that. I need to research. Anybody who knows the name Hassan.
You don't like him to carry water for him. What a ridiculous fucking what a fucking ridiculous defense, right? Like the thing is that, for example, if you welcome a Nazi into your home and you said, oh well, I don't see them as a Nazi, I see them as a human being, right? I mean, we're not saying that you are a Nazi or you like this Nazi or whatever the fuck. You're still holding water for them, right? Aren't you? Right?
Hassan Piker knows half a dozen of the bad shit he's done.
I was dealing
this ignorance.
Okay.
I was dealing ignorance.
That's crazy.
One more question before we end.
Wait, can we
actually 3 hours? It's dinner time.
I could get to the Hassan thing. You said that you would vote for, and correct me if I'm wrong, Trump over Hassan. Can you explain why?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
The issue that I had with that Twitter thread is that like there's a meaningful difference, and because it was like moving between all of these at some point in time. Of, are you talking about casting the deciding vote? Are you talking about who you're more ideologically aligned with? Are you talking about voting for somebody assuming they would have full control of the party? Or are you talking about voting for somebody assuming they would have full control of the party and a full backing of the entire government? Like all of these questions have different answers.
Hassan's party wins. Hassan wins.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying like, are you saying like if Hassan were to win and was able to enact a significant portion of his agenda?
Yes.
Then I would vote for Trump easily. That's not even a question.
Okay. Why? I want to give it to Pisco. What about you? Again, Trump?
Yeah. So first, let me just clarify the question as Stephen did. I never intended to ask that question of Hassan without constraints. I think it's fucking delusional to think that that's how you initially understood that question, given the fact that embedded in your response, your initial response.
The other question doesn't make sense, Pisco. The other question
doesn't
make sense. Hassan's irrelevant, but he wins political power. If Hassan's irrelevant, but he wins political power, then that vote doesn't fucking matter. So how is that your point?
So the conclusion that Stephen was interpreting that question to be Hassan without constraints is preposterous, given the fact that he was referencing.
Oh no, now he's trying to use like fucking Mr. Girl tactics by speaking very calmly and slowly. Oh god. Dude, all the anti-fans just begin to like meld into like this one amalgamate of like a fucking meat. It's like a fucking rolling meatball, and then suddenly like you feel like kind of like low vibrations coming from the meatball, like this fucking anti-fan like meatball, just like this huge meatball that's like the size of a skyscraper, okay? And then it's just like rising from the air, and it makes like this low hum, and suddenly everyone gets nauseous because it's like radiating radiation, and then suddenly an eyeball pops out, and it's like. And then it goes pulse like oh my god, that's where all the anti-fan
as one of the reasons to vote for Trump over Hassan in that scenario. Trump's constraints over the Trump during his constrained period in the 4 years. He said, look at, Trump wasn't able to accomplish what he did in those 4 years. We haven't had a destroyed country. Clearly he was referencing Trump with constraints to Hassan with constraints. That's obviously what the question asked. That's what your people understood.
No, the constraints on Hassan would be significantly greater, though, than the constraints on Trump.
No, but the whole point is no one was understanding that question, you included, when I initially asked it. I mean, without constraints.
Okay, wait, so just to be clear then, so your question was, would I prefer to elect Donald Trump into a system today where he has undying cult-like support from the entire Republican establishment, okay, from all the media and from the Supreme Court? Would I prefer Donald Trump to be elected, or would I prefer Hassan Piker, who probably would barely even be able to be sat as president of the United States, because even the Democratic Party wouldn't support him?
That's why this question sucks.
Wait, I want to hear you. That's the question that you were legitimately asking?
So the question I was asking is who you would vote for president of the United States, carrying all the assumptions that you would normally take in any of those situations where, like, when you're asking who you vote for president. I wasn't implying, obviously, complete dictatorial control. Anyone who thinks that that's how
were you implying a similar level of control of what Trump has now?
I was implying whatever. I wasn't. I was agnostic as to like Congress. I was agnostic.
How
as
can
to
you
these
be
other
agnostic
factors.
to that? These are the most important things.
No. But what I wasn't asking, and what's clear that you didn't.
No. Don't say what you weren't asking. What was the actual question?
I wasn't asking. The question was the normal set of assumptions of.
There are no normal set of assumptions. Hassan isn't even a political figure. He's not a politician.
So if I were to ask you who would you vote for, counterpoints or Trump, how would you answer? You would have a set of assumptions, wouldn't you?
No, I would ask you for clarification. What do you mean? Like assuming that?
Yeah, we're voting for a president of the United States constrained in the normal ways that a president is.
Constrained in the normal ways, like Connor. I don't know if he can do anything. No, stop! Shut up! It's not being obtuse. Pisco is being obtuse. I'm asking a very clear and obvious question, right? If you're talking about what does it mean to vote for somebody, and you say with the normal constraints is what Connor said earlier. Hassan wouldn't be elected. So are you talking about a country that would have the political environment that would elect Hassan Piker? Here, you know what? Here's a better one. Given the same constraints on the system, would you rather have Donald Trump as a president or Stalin as the president?
Yeah, I think probably Trump. Yeah.
Then you agree with me.
Wait. No, I don't agree with you. I think Stalin is much different.
Grounding of your question.
I have no evidence. I have no evidence that Hassan is like Stalin.
You just don't know anything about. Yeah, I mean, like that's his valid that's literally his political ideology. Yeah.
Do you want me to read you the evidence? I could read you the evidence.
No. In the ways that matter.
Don't read
in the ways that matter.
Like
Stalin.
I could answer that.
So you think that Stalin and Hassan. Sorry, Hassan is a genocidal freak. That's what you think.
I don't know if I'd say genocidal freak, but Hassan is a Stalinist.
No, I'll say it. Okay, he is a genocidal freak. Okay, if we accept the fact that Russia is invading Ukraine right now and they're committing like genocide there right now by stealing away children and then getting them to families, that does actually pass under like I think it's like UN Rule 1E or something, where the definition of genocide is in fact it's about like taking kids away from families, right, and then like raising them under Russian families in order to conduct cultural genocide, right? And let's just say that, for example, we can find clips of Hassan also basically saying Crimea River, generally defending Russia, right, or holding water for Russia. He doesn't really talk much about the Ukrainian war, but he talks about Israel and Palestine a lot. Yeah, I would honestly definitely say that, yeah, you know what, Hassan is pro-genocide. Yes, Hassan is pro-genocide. Yes, I can make that argument. Okay, I can make that argument.
Like a Marxist-Leninist, yes.
No, but he's not similar. Do you think that Hassan would enact a genocide in this country?
It could happen, yes.
Hold on.
Yes. What's your evidence that Hassan would enact genocide in this country?
Because a Marxist-Leninist, and because when other vanguard parties have come into power, like in fucking China and in the Soviet Union, they ended up having genocides. Yes.
So you think that Hassan is pro-genocide in this country?
I don't know if Stalin or Mao were pro-genocide. That's a stupid question.
Oh my God. Dude, I know what Pisco's trying to farm clips, dude. Oh my God, this is so cringe. It's so cringe. You can tell that Pisco is trying to ask the question, trying to get like a response out of Destiny because he's trying to farm clips. Oh, God.
They're trying to do this yes or no shit on complicated political issues because you don't understand any of the politics. Hold on. Do you think that Stalin? Wait. Do you think that Stalin was pro-genocide? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yeah.
No, you're fucking retarded. You're an idiot. You're a fucking retard. No, it's stupid.
Wait, Connor, you agree with me that Stalin is pro-genocide?
That's great. He's a Republican. I expect him to agree with that.
I believe. Hold on. Holy shit! I can actually answer questions, unlike you, Spurgs. Yeah, Stalin wanted to fucking kill the fuck out of the Ukrainians. However, Pisco, what I'll answer directly to you is that I think if Hassan was put into power the same way that Stalin was, he 100% would create thought crimes. He 100% would incarcerate people without trial. He would 100% do mass executions of ideological enemies, namely capitalists.
Yep.
And I have evidence.
Yeah, he said he wants to kill all the landlords.
He said he wants to kill all the landlords.
Not just that.
You know what, Wick? You made yourself useful for once, okay? Thank you, Wick. Wick, listen. A broken clock is right twice a day, okay?
I literally have, in preparation for the debate, I wrote down like 30.
So I'll ask you, Connor. If Trump had total power and he had no checks, do you think he would kill political rivals?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, 100%. So what's the disparity there?
Okay. Hold on. I want an opportunity to answer this question because I feel like you guys were talking past each other. Okay, and I get we're wrapping. All right. So with Trump right now, we have he's a cult-like leader within the Republican Party, but he does have some institutional checks on his power. For the sake of the hypothetical, for the sake of the hypothetical, I presumed in order for Hassan to be of similar power, he would have a similar situation. He's not in total control. We still have Republican checks on the limits of his power, but he has a cult-like following within the left. Okay, that's what I presume. And what I would say is that his sense of isolationism, his sense of pro-terrorism, his sense of wanting to backstab the Western world, him hating mixed economy capitalism, I think he would be just as large of a danger or more of a danger than Donald Trump. And I can back that up factually.
Okay.
I mean, Hassan himself has said like 50 times he's a Marxist-Leninist. Like, Hassan has like openly, outwardly said that.
Hang on a second. Wait, do you acknowledge? Wait, Destiny. You acknowledge that I never said he wasn't a Marxist-Leninist.
But that's essentially like the blueprint for what Stalin did. Yes, it's the he's on the program like championing like Lenin's literature and shit, like overthrowing states and shit. Yeah.
Steven, I never said he wasn't a Marxist-Leninist. And when I was talking, I want to address, because you put a video of it where I was like addressing some people who are following Hassan and getting his clips, basically where they were talking about this re-education camps. And what was told to me is this.
Oh yeah, guys, just a reminder, okay? If you guys, please kindly hit the like button, okay? First of all right? Please kindly hit the like button, all right, if you're here. And also, please also consider donating, okay, and supporting the stream. All right, streams like this, like if you're having fun right now, all right, would not be possible without people like you. All right, and so I have to kindly ask, okay, if you would like to donate, you can do so via super chat, membership, donated membership, okay, or you can go to my Streamlabs link, okay. You can go to my Streamlabs link, and you can also donate there. All right. Now, obviously, you don't have to, but let's just say that you use my content to get through work or whatever. Okay, just do it. Okay, just do it. Thank you, much appreciated. Okay. Also, Streamlabs, keep in mind your personal data can be leaked. Okay, to me. Okay. All right. Just be aware of that. But your personal data is safe. Okay, when it comes to super chats and memberships. Thank you.
This is an example of Hassan explicitly in favor of re-education camps. I want to be clear about something. I have now seen the clips of Hassan calling himself a Marxist-Leninist. People have brought that to my attention. I asked these people, do you have clips of himself calling himself a Marxist-Leninist? What's the evidence? What's the strongest evidence? At no point, and there's even something where explicitly I said this, did I say Hassan wasn't a Marxist-Leninist? And I just want to repeat for like the 10th time. I do not like Hassan Piker. He does.
If you think he's an ML, what would the significant difference be between his administration and Stalin's?
I think another meaningful question is, Aaron Fection, thank you so much for the $9.70. Okay, thank you so much for the $9.70 from Streamlabs. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, buddy. Shady Abe, thank you so much for the $10. Appreciate the content. It's nice to have something play while I'm drawing. Thank you so much, Shady. I appreciate that. Aaron, great takes today, Foodshops. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Misaki, guys, Misaki just donated $50. $50 fucking dollars. Okay, Misaki donated $50 via Streamlabs. That is a W, Misaki, for sure. Okay, $50 fucking dollars. Holy shit, dude. That is actually so much money. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, buddy. All right, that's crazy. No comment attached. Okay. Thank you so much. $50. That's crazy.
Well, because I do think that Hassan is
or
not.
Lenin. If we want Lenin.
No, Stalin. No, do Stalin. What
is
he saying?
We'll do Stalin because So I think the key distinctions are. I think that if you take a look at the different personalities, that Stalin seems like a worse overall person, has worse people on his ear.
Was here since 70 viewers. Hey, dude, some people were here since 8 viewers. 8 viewers. Everyone has to start from somewhere. Okay.
I think that Hassan has some friends who I think are generally like good people like Adam Friedland.
Okay, here's the question. First of all,
oh, come the fuck on, really?
Let me finish. And
Adam Friedland in the cabinet.
Wait. I
was going to be Secretary of Defense. Adam Friedland would not be part of Assad's fucking communist government.
I think culturally, he's much more likely to be more moderate in terms of the genocidal stuff that Stalin was able to get away with because of the American culture that he's a part of. And so and I think also, by the way, that in the context, if we're actually putting real constraints on it, I think the military and the police would be much less apt to do abuses under a Hassan Piker administration than they would under.
Here's a question: if Hassan was the president of the United States and he could push a button and say Israel has become a one state right now that will probably lead to a genocide of the Jews there until the majority of them leave, do you think that he would push that button?
Wait, push the button to do what? Sorry.
To turn Israel, Palestine into a single state that would probably result in the next 5 years of some genocide or genocidal campaign against the Jews there until all of them basically leave. Do you think Hassan would push that button?
Yes. Would you push the button for Israel's conduct right now? Do you
Wait a second. I couldn't have heard that.
Genocidal stuff that Stalin was able to get away with because of the American culture that he's a part of, and so there. And I think also, by the way, that. In the context, if we're actually putting real constraints on it, I think the military and the police would be much less apt to do abuses under a Hassan Piker administration than they would under.
Here's a question: if Hassan was the president of the United States and he could push a button and say Israel has become a one state right now that will probably lead to a genocide of the Jews there until the majority of them leave, do you think that he would push that button?
Wait, push the button to do what? Sorry.
To turn Israel, Palestine into a single state that would probably result in the next 5 years of some genocide or genocidal campaign against the Jews there until all of them basically leave. Do you think Hassan would push that button?
Yes. Would you push the button for Israel's conduct right now? Do you support Israel's conduct right now?
Fuck no.
I must be hallucinating, guys. Pisco just said that he would ally himself with a genocide supporter. Pisco just said that he recognizes that Hassan would conduct genocide on the Jews. He's okay with allying with him. Bizarro, thank you so much for the 2 Canadian, okay? I appreciate that. Pisco doesn't think Hassan should be welcomed in liberal spaces. He does defend Hassan, though. Isn't that in a way welcoming him?
Okay, so you.
But also, this isn't about me. Okay, so hold on. So that means
Trump
you just said
Trump is willing to abide. Trump is willing to abide.
Would you vote for Trump or Destiny as president?
Israel's conduct
Trump or
right now.
Destiny? Okay.
I would vote for Destiny. I'm honest about that.
Hold on. No, wait. But hold on.
I know Canadian ain't much. Nah. I mean, thanks for the monopoly money, okay? It's the gesture that counts. Thank you.
You just said that Stalin being genocidal was a key differentiator between him and Hassan. So Hassan would be genocidal in some cases, right? Depending on who the people are. He would probably do the same to Polish people, right? He said as much.
No, but you're asking in a context in which for Hassan the trade-off is genocide. The current genocide, he views it as a current genocide. What's going on in Gaza, and I guess the question would just be like, which genocide is entailed.
Sure, and for Stalin, it was: do we have enough crops to feed the people in Moscow? Do we have enough crops for the people?
But in terms of the internal, I think there is a significant difference in terms of the internal potentiality for a genocide. And I just want to be clear about something. I don't support Hassan Piker. So let's get to the prescription. I am not trying to build a bridge with Hassan Piker.
No, but at every single point, you will stand the fuck out of
Hassan Piker. How am I protecting Hassan Piker?
If you want to run the last topic, so at this point in time, do you admit that there is absolutely zero evidence whatsoever that there was?
Dude, this is Pisco's phone right now. Bring Hassan Piker. Oh no.
Was any kind of discriminatory activity towards him in his whole TSA adventure, and then he lied at multiple points about it?
Wait. So I agree he lied, but you and I both agree, didn't you? Didn't you agree that the main reason
he doesn't think Hassan is as radical as Hassan is? But he is, and he's been shown proof time and time again. I don't even think he believes that. He literally acknowledges that Hassan is extreme. He acknowledges that Hassan would conduct a genocide on Israelis. He literally, he said so. He said that Hassan would conduct a genocide on Israelis. And
the most probable thing that happened on anything else you said this. Was that viewpoint discrimination played a role in his rejection of global entry? You did say that. You said it.
When did I say that?
On record.
No, he does. There's no.
Hold on, no. I'm right here. Talk to me. What was the viewpoint discrimination?
Yeah, I'm saying what you said. What you
no, we
said
don't need
was
to say what I said. You need to quote me from 2 months ago. I'm right here. What is the viewpoint discrimination?
You said something that Hassan said was the most likely reason that he was denied or had
Correct.
his
That's not viewpoint discrimination, though. That's not viewpoint discrimination. That's content discrimination. If you talk about killing politicians, it doesn't matter. Hold on. Do you think that if Hassan Piker had talked about killing Democrats or whatever, that he also wouldn't have been flagged maybe on Global Entry if he had a tweet blow up about having a Democratic politician killed?
I'm not sure for the purpose of this.
Wait. You're not sure? I thought you said you were 100% vindicated that he'd been subject to viewpoint discrimination when he went through the TSA.
Wait. I am vindicated on that. I'm saying I'm not sure as between a Democratic.
I'm mad Econoboy only said like 5 sentences. It's okay. I forgot that he was there anyway. Okay.
Candidate, what I think would probably happen is that no, he wouldn't be. I don't know is the answer to that. I truly don't know.
Then what's the viewpoint?
Also, he's boring. Why would you want to listen to him?
Discrimination.
Let me talk about this, right? So content-based restrictions are also subject to strict scrutiny. Do you know that?
Yes, they can be, but viewpoint discrimination is even stricter. It's even stricter. Viewpoint discrimination is almost never going to pass because you're not just saying you can't kill a politician. You're saying you can't kill a certain type of politician. The viewpoint.
My inclination is that if Hassan said that about Bernie Sanders, he wouldn't have had his Global Entry revoked. That is my inclination, but regardless, it doesn't matter. It's overdetermined. When I say it's overdetermined, I mean it doesn't matter. Like content-based restrictions are subject to strict scrutiny.
Sure, for laws. Yeah, sure, no, yes. Okay. For expedited entry through Global Entry, I'm not sure. They're probably not.
Let's just be clear about something. You did agree into it. Something he said before was the most likely reason that he had Global Entry revoked.
Yes.
Correct?
Do you agree that you can say things that maybe would make it worth it to have your Global Entry revoked?
Have a nice
day. So there are certain things that you could say that would have it.
Cool.
Okay.
Do you think that one of those things might be talking about killing a politician?
Well, it depends if that is a if it is a true threat or not. If it's a true threat,
so
for example, if someone takes something that you said, Stephen, if someone said something that you said, and like what you said, for example, about
hold on, let me hedge off here. If I got an email, no, because it's stupid. If I got an email and I found out that I got kicked out of Global Entry because of what I said about the fucking firefighter or whatever, I'd probably be like, sure, yeah. No shit. You think I'm gonna go on the internet? You think I'm gonna be like, oh, I can't believe that I can't make death threats about people and they're gonna kick me out of the expedited security screening list?
What if they denied you? What if they denied you a gun on the basis of that opinion?
That would be much different. That's a much stronger. Wait. You're talking about. Hold on. You're talking about a constitutionally guaranteed right versus expedited screening through airplane security. We're not even talking about being. No, we don't have to move.
So let's move off.
Well, why is he even defending like Hassan's like fucking plane ride shit?
So what about a driver's license then?
No.
Why not?
This is not. This is non-responsive.
Why not?
Econoboy knows. Econoboy knows he doesn't want to be roped into this shit, dude. He's thinking right now. He's thinking in his mind. I'm just a spectator.
What evidence do we have that Hassan was discriminated against for like for a political reason, for something that we wouldn't?
And for the record, okay, I think that Pisco should 100% be discredited. Okay, I think he's 100% bad faith, but I still don't think that Econoboy is. I think that he panicked and he made some points that maybe he didn't know what he sounded like in that panic. But I don't think that Econoboy is like should particularly be damned or whatever the fuck, right? You want to give him a little bit of mercy, okay? But like in my opinion, like fuck, dude, Pisco's Jover, dude.
Ordinarily expect somebody to be kicked out of an expedited security screening program for.
Like this debate is enough for me to completely like discredit Pisco once and for all. Like really, like I don't really care. I don't really care whether or not like his career survives. Frankly, it doesn't really matter that much to me. But like this debate alone is enough for me to discredit Pisco for like the next like fucking who knows when, until he redeems himself or changes himself as a human being. Because there's no shot, in my opinion, you can see, like, if you're someone who's saying, there's no shot you're gonna see him as anything other than fucking unhinged and insane. Yeah.
Do we have any evidence of that whatsoever? Yes or no?
So any evidence of that? Yes. The fact that the most likely statement that you've attributed, and which I probably agree, is like either the Rick Scott comment or the comments on the Houthis.
Like honestly, after this, you have to suck up to Hassan to survive now. Like in my opinion, like if you want your career to survive, you have to suck up to Hassan because there's no shot you're appealing to any of the fucking. Okay, you're sucking up to Hassan and you're sucking up to Jay Stoke and Queeman and Chalogic. Okay, you have to. There's no other choice. Okay, there's literally no other choice. You don't have any other choice in this matter. Okay, this like in the past, maybe if you're a content creator, you can choose like which space you want to participate in. in, you can choose like which opinions you have to participate in which space, but not anymore. You no longer have a choice, okay? The only way you can survive is if you can just like grift all the way to like the Queenman crowd, okay? You have to. You have no choice.
In
okay?
Palestine and Israel,
You have no choice.
I take all of those to be content-based
You're
restriction,
done.
viewpoint discrimination that would be insidious. And,
Okay, so you
unconstitutional.
wait, so you think that somebody outwardly supporting you think that somebody outwardly supporting a terrorist group that's declared as a terrorist group that they shouldn't be allowed to be removed from expedited airport security screening for that?
Yes. So
Okay,
let me
that's
ask you a
fine.
question. Let me ask you the question. So with respect to a driver's license, do you think
This is not even.
I will say like this is like just a really disappointing debate though. Like I will say like on some part of it, like there is a meaningful part of it that is very sad about this entire ordeal. Yeah. Like because remember, Pisco was gonna be our version of Destiny in a way that is like this badass debater who is a crazy like amazing anti-Trump young person who is like a cool person who is like whatever. He didn't need to go down this path whatsoever. He chose to go down this path, and now he is facing his own reckoning. Okay, it's just a very sad ordeal because of this. Okay, just honestly very sad. Yeah. Foodshops, nah, he doesn't need to suck up to Hassan. I mean, he doesn't need to suck up to Hassan, but he needs to appeal to some crowd, right? The existing crowd out there. He needs to appeal to some people, or if he just streams through it. But I don't think so, right? I think that he's a very mad person and he's very angry, right? Like and I think that he can't move past this like emotionally, you know? Yeah. Despite E-Boy being a socialist, my opinion of him somehow increased during this conversation. While I lost all respect for the capitalism. Well, it seems like E-Boy, at least, like, he recognizes when the situation has become dire, right? Like, a debate being just a debate is fine, okay? But it's a completely other thing when you're nuking your career over one debate, right? The thing is that, like, fuck me, dude. It's just very sad, okay? Like, the thing is that I think Econoboy has some degree of, like, self-preservation. That's what I think, okay? Honestly. When did you first start beating your wife? Yes or no? It's true.
Remotely
you're not going to answer.
No.
So I'm going to ask
you want to talk about like an expedited life to get a driver's license? We can do that. No, because it's a retarded. It's such an unbelievable. No, pivot. I'm dodging your pivot. That's right. Whoa.
What's different?
You see pivoting? I dodge your pivot. I dodge the pivot.
Wait, Destiny.
I give it 1 month until Pisco ends up on JSOC Korean stream. At the rate that Pisco might crash out, probably tomorrow. Are you kidding me? Forget about 1 month. He's gonna end up on JStalk or Queenman stream tomorrow. All right, by the way, this is not me making an actual prediction. Okay, I'm just like commentating for the sake of humor, whatever the fuck, right? But I just wouldn't be surprised. I'm not saying it will happen. I just wouldn't be surprised. Okay, that's it.
The pivot.
Destiny, what's
I dodged the pivot. I dodged the pivot.
Wait.
I dodged the pivot. I've already seen this entire conversation. I'm going to say, having a driver's license is a right. You go, well, it's not really. It's a privilege. Oh, well, it's an and then is it discriminating a privilege? And it's like, well, is it the exact same thing then? It's being discriminating against. I've seen the entire argument, and I can already see how fucking retarded it is, and how much a waste of time it is. No, we don't need to.
Like, after a debate like this, you have to find refuge. You have to find refuge. You have to find refuge. Otherwise, your emotions can't take it. Your emotions literally cannot, like, physically take it, right? Like, yeah.
You already admitted that you don't think somebody should be able to be kicked off of an expedited security list on an airplane because they talk about killing politicians. That's crazy. And I don't think the vast majority of Americans agree with you. And I think it's fucking retarded.
Let's go.
We're good. That's all I got on it. I'm good on it. You got it.
So you don't have to answer it. You don't have to answer it. I'm just gonna put it out there.
No, of course Quayman was in Pisco's chat. Like, yeah, no one is surprised either. Okay, I'm not like trying to discredit you or anything. I'm just saying like it's like these people root themselves firmly within people who are anti-Destiny, who are like former Destiny orbiters or something, so that they can gobble them up immediately and then use them as like a basically as a prop or a tool until Pisco is destroyed, right? Because the thing is that if you make your entire career anti-Destiny, it's over. It's over for you. All right, if you make your entire career anti-Destiny, it's over. Your path only leads to destruction. There is no market. There is no audience for this. Well, there is an audience, but you'll never grow. You'll never fucking grow out of it. That's it. You're done. You're just done. So you need you need to have regular content. You need to have content in which you are covering something regularly and people are there to tune in for you, not for the anti-Destiny content, right? That's it.
So this is the question. Because of the support for a terrorist organization, should someone be denied a driver's license? Because a driver's license is not a right. It is a privilege. It's purely at the discretion of the state. If it wanted to, can kick you off a driver's license for something trivial, for a parking offense, for anything. Really, there are tons of different restrictions that don't have to be
you know what?
Totally tailored. Wait,
totally tailored. Wait. What does strict scrutiny entail, Pisco?
Yeah. You need a compelling person.
Wait. What would the compelling interest be to deny somebody a driver's license? What would be the compelling reason to deny a driver's license to somebody because they support a terrorist group?
I don't have it because I think it's
exactly.
on all fours.
Do you think there might be a compelling reason to deny somebody
I don't have it
expedited?
because it's on all fours. Yeah, what is it?
The fact that it might make them somebody who's worth screening in the ordinary manner that we screen people to come back into the United States?
Wait. Hang on a second. So